Up to their necks in Brexit chaos, and with Corbyn's Labour snapping at their heels, the Tories are trying again with a somewhat tired strategy to escape the label of the nasty party. They are having another go at acting like environmentalists, this time combining it with being nice to animals. At the helm of this more caring narrative is Environment Secretary Michael Gove, tasked with resurrecting the idea that blue is the new green. The public have come to regard the Conservatives as people who believe it is fine for hounds to catch and tear apart a fox because animals don't have feelings anyway. The manifesto commitment to overturn the fox hunting ban and more recently refusing to back Caroline Lucas's amendment to the EU withdrawal bill on recognizing animals as sentient beings, have left the Tories looking cruel and heartless and has led to a huge public backlash. In response, we have had a plethora of new pro-environment policy announcements from the man who has promised a green Brexit, and it would be churlish not to admit that these are welcome. There has been the outlawing of the trade in ivory, reversing the manifesto pledge to hold a vote on fox hunting, a promise to ban bee-killing neonicotinoids, and backing the reintroduction of beavers to the British countryside, as well as explorations into a deposit scheme for bottles and the outlawing of microbeads in cosmetics. This has been backed up by Theresa May writing for The Guardian and some manic and repetitive tweeting from Tory MPs about how much they love animals, while endlessly repeating the refrain that the idea that Conservatives don't regard animals as sentient is fake news. The Tories even seem to have succeeded in wooing some conservation and wildlife groups. The commitment to a new post-Brexit environment watchdog has been particularly well received, ignoring the fact that it was the Tories who abolished exactly this sort of public body 7 years ago. The problem for the Tories is that being green is about so much more than fluffy bunnies. While individual policies on animal protection are welcome, in a nation full of animal lovers they are easy wins. They also ignore the central lesson of ecology, a lesson that Gove and his fellow Tories have never been able to grasp, that life on Earth is one system. Nature abhors not only a vacuum but also compartmentalization. Those lovely beavers and polar bears need somewhere to live, more than compassion and concern they need a habitat. And if you let a fracking company pollute the waterways or throw subsidies at fossil fuels, then the beavers will die and the polar bears will starve. When Michael Gove first started down his green Brexit route, I suggested we put him in special measures. As Greens, we find it hard to trust him to protect the environment because he is part of a government that has introduced so many damaging policies over so many years. There is a long way to go from special measures to outstanding, but if that's where he wishes to move to, I suggest he is assessed on 3 key issues. First, will he persuade his government to ban fracking and go all out for renewables? Fracking poses huge threats to some of our most fragile and treasured landscapes and will expose communities and wildlife to noise, air, light, and water pollution.